Welcome friends, welcome back to another in our series on pop. And today we're going to make sarsaparilla. A lot of people have asked for sarsaparilla. We did root beer a little while ago and I wasn't going to do sarsaparilla because to me sarsaparilla is just a form of root beer. And I started to do some research on it and realized that if you ask 100 people about sarsaparilla, you're going to get 100 different answers. Everyone has a different opinion on what it is, what should be in it, where it came from, how it originated. It got really confusing and I thought, okay, so I'm going to pick a couple of recipes. I'm going to sort of look at them all, figure out if there's a common thread, and we're going to make one. So the common thread in sarsaparilla is that you use sarsaparilla root. So this is ground sarsaparilla root or chopped sarsaparilla root because it's not a fine powder. We use this in our root beer. And it has that root beer smell or flavor to it. Now, you would think that a drink called sarsaparilla always had sarsaparilla in it. And a lot of people I talked to said no. The original sarsaparillas were made with sassafras, and sarsaparilla wasn't added until later, which kind of freaks me out a little bit because then what is root beer? And you know, why would it be called sarsaparilla if it didn't have sarsaparilla in it at the beginning? And I don't have an answer for that. Completely boggles my mind. I'm confused about it. I've read and I've read and I've read and I've dug deep and I've gone to the historical libraries and I can't figure it out. But the other thing that people seem to agree on though is that it also contains birch bark. So I'm going to put birch bark in. Now we've got water and the birch bark and the sarsaparilla root in this pot. I don't want to bring it to a boil, but I do want to bring it up to just about a boil. And then we're going to take it off the heat and let it steep for probably half an hour to 45 minutes. Okay, so this is steeped. Now we need to strain it. So I've got a fine mesh strainer into another pot. And let me just get a spoon here. We need to strain this out. And you're going to notice, if you make this, that there is a lot more root than liquid. This should give us a really strong flavor. So in it goes. And just pull all the root in as well, into the strainer. And what I'm going to do is just let this sit and drain for probably another 25 or 30 minutes, just to make sure that we get all of the liquid out of these roots. Okay, we're going to put this back on the heat. And this is where we add in the sugar. So this is cane sugar. We're going to put this in here. We've got the heat at about a medium high. And we just want to heat this to the point where the sugar is fully dissolved. Okay, this looks good. I think the sugar is fully dissolved. So I'm going to put it into this measuring cup. And I'm going to add some citric acid. That'll just give it a little bit of a bite, and it will also act as a preservative, so it'll last longer in the fridge. Now, I'm just going to stick this in the fridge and let it chill down before we taste it. Sarsaparilla needs a bit of a stir.
That's okay.
So my pouring and my mixing are still maybe a little suspect.
It does look like a lovely light lager though.
It does. So I didn't add any coloring in. I just wanted to go with flavor, no color.
Okay, I can tell, I can recognize the smell.
It's got a strong flavor.
It's kind of amazing how different it is from
the root beer.
From the root beer. That one ingredient just changes it completely.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. I don't know that I've ever had sarsaparilla.
Well, we have what
Why does it make me feel like I'm in a Western to have sarsaparilla?
Because the cowboy always comes in. There's a great scene in The Big Lebowski where he bellies up to the bar and he asks for a sarsaparilla. Yeah.
You got a good sarsaparilla?
Sioux City sarsaparilla?
Yeah, it's a good one.
I think I've forgotten this, but that's okay.
Okay, so this is a commercially made sarsaparilla, and it is dark because they add caramel color. And I could have put caramel color in, but decided not to.
Okay.
Yeah,
Same smell?
different flavor. Completely different flavor. More.
Completely different smell. I've got caramel in it.
Yeah, a lot of caramely flavor in that, isn't there? Okay.
Interesting. The caramel flavor, I find that interesting.
Yes.
It makes it lovely, but it makes it, oddly enough, it has more of a root beery kind of flavor to it.
Yeah. I think if that
Interesting.
is the sarsaparilla that you would normally
Oh,
drink.
did you add it to both of them?
I did
Oh,
add.
we can't go back. That's okay.
Okay. I wasn't thinking. We can pour another one.
It's true. We have the technology,
Okay, so I just added acid phosphate.
which we found usually fills in the flavor a bit.
Changes the flavor. So,
I don't know that it did change the flavor that much.
no, not this time.
It might have softened it a bit, but it didn't kind of fill it in the way it did for
I'm going to put in
some of the other things that we've tried.
I'll put in another scoop. Okay, so these two sarsaparillas couldn't taste more different.
So if this is what you're used to drinking, this may not be your recipe. But that being said, it's another very sweet soda,
Yeah, I mean the
pop, whatever you want to call it. I'm learning to call it a soda.
the
apparently.
sarsaparilla flavor is there, but it's lacking the caramel flavor that's in this one. You know, and I bet if you put that beside all of those root beers that we drank, most people wouldn't tell that from a root beer.
Maybe. It's hard to tell without one, right? I mean,
So what is the
bold
evolution?
statement.
So I think what is the evolution of sarsaparilla and root beer? That this is going to take more work.
you can do it, Glenn.
I think I can do it. Okay, so
believe in you.
At some point, we will come back to sarsaparilla and keep working on it. Add more caramel flavor because as I said, I think this is the gold standard. Everyone cites this
one?
one as the one that is great. And I mean, it says right on the bottle, it's the granddaddy of all root beers.
It's good though. I
Yeah,
do like it. It's
I do
very
like it
tasty.
too. So, take a look for sarsaparilla again in the future. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.
Take care.